Hey guys, how's it going? I'm gonna do a video right now that I made a build here. I mean I didn't make it, but I'm sure it's been thought of before. But I was testing it. I did a practice game with Charles, and he beat me. But it's because I was being an idiot when I was doing it. But that's okay. So basically, the build I'm gonna do. Well, this is one I just played, and this is kind of a worst case scenario when this build. Hold on, let me make sure that the volume. Okay, it looks good. Sometimes it's too loud, you can't hear me, but this is the worst case scenario. This build, the guy countered my build perfectly in the beginning, and it shut me down a little bit. I was still able to pull through in the end, though, and I'm going to explain why I do things in this build as I go through it. So, what this build is basically, it's a 5 to 6 roach push in the beginning, for a few reasons. One, to put the pressure on. Two, if he does not, against a Protoss especially, it can wreck his day if he does not have the appropriate amount of sentries up, or if he slipped a little bit on his macro in the beginning, it can wreck his day. When I push with the roaches, I'm mainly going to attempt to kill his sentries, or overall his Psy-Core. If I kill his Psy-Core, then pretty much the game is over, but I've yet to do that with this build yet, so we'll see. I did beat a Terran with it last round, because he counterattacked and I was able to hold the counterattack, and after that I am ahead economically and tend to do pretty well. So what I'm doing here is I get a 14 extractor, 14 spawning pool, and what I try to do is I try to deny all scouting of the Roach Warren. So I do not want him to see my Roach Warren, or the fact that I do not have an expo, because that means if you know anything about StarCraft 2, you know that if a Zerg is not fast expoing, he's going to put pressure on you. So if this Protoss does not know that at all, then I'm in good shape. So we'll see. This build's weird. It's different. It's definitely not my playstyle. I'm more of a macro guy, but putting pressure on is okay. This guy's not a bad player by any means. He does get inside of my main on his initial push, which does tend to wreck my day. So what I do when I push with the roaches, the Roach Warren does go down at about the 3:20 minute mark, which is good. I believe I do have roaches at his front door before the Psy-Core Warp Tech is finished. And the reason why this is a worst case scenario is because look how far I have to travel, for one. I have to travel across this whole map, and then it's against a Protoss who has sentries to force field his ramp, literally leaving me useless. So that leaves me economically behind, as well as wasting the Roach Warren and roaches. So yeah, we're going to see how it goes. The reason I decided to do this build is because I know an early roach push can sometimes catch them off guard and kill them if they're not paying enough attention. But a lot of people with their roach pushes will continue producing roaches and rallying them here. But I figure that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to send 5 to 6. And then if they live, if I win, then good. But if I don't, I do try to save as many of them as I can while making roaches back at home to prepare for the counterattack, which you will see happens right away. And I do try to deny this scout again with my lings. I build these initial lings literally to prevent the scout, so he does not see my Roach Warren, which I don't believe he sees. Yeah, he has no idea what I'm doing. No idea if I have an Expo or Roach Warren or what. So I am denying that scout the best I can. The problem with this also, I got supply blocked, so did not play that the best of my ability. So I only have 3. I would like 5 to 6, so that was my bad. He is sending scouts out, really wants to know what's going on. I lied. Warp Tech is going to finish before... Oh boy. Before I even get there. That's not good at all, but you know, the point is to put the pressure on, not to end the game, not to get killed. And behind this, I am going to expand. If you see my mineral pile there, which is not good, but I am going to expand behind this, so that way I'm not economically behind too much. I do send some lings up here just to see what he has. I do see the 2 sentries, so I'm frightened, but you know what, if I can get them to waste a little bit of energy, maybe maybe kill a zealot, maybe kill a sentry, and get out of there, I'm happy with that. To put the pressure on, maybe make him sweat a little bit, it's a good deal. Key also is to not let my macro slip, which generally does not happen too often, but it does tend to happen. This also prevents him from attacking me, for one. I know he's not going to put pressure on me if I'm putting pressure on him. That was a good play. You put one at the bottom, because I could get my roaches up there a little bit to see the top. so he does have 2 force fields left. Do I pick one off? Oh, no, I do not pick one off. I do look up here. He gets 2. So now I'm nervous, because now I lost. Do I kill a sentry? Oh, I do snipe a sentry. Not worth it, but, you know. I figure I should probably go home now, because he could have chased these all the way, literally, to their deaths, but he decided to pull back, because he's a nice guy, so. He does plant this pylon here. Worst case scenario, again, it's cross map. He plants a pylon here to, you know, I see this and I freak out, to attempt to warp in, and I'm assuming follow up with these units here. So I am trying to get these roaches back as fast as I possibly can to stop this. I believe I do pull the lines because I do not want more than 1 warp for sure. These guys are transitioning anyway, but I do want this pylon out of here for sure. So, yep. And as he's doing this, he is coming up here with, he's getting another forward pylon, and he's coming here with an army that could potentially be devastating to, you know, my five or so roaches. I am making a good 5 amount of roaches, but again, worst case scenario, this map sucks and I cannot block my ramp as well as my expo with spines, so I do decide to opt for the expo protection here. As you can see, if we check a look at the income tab, I am indeed in the lead with the same harvester count, although my spread is better because he's slightly oversaturated. So technically I'm ahead right now. If he does drop an expo, nice chrono boost, buddy. If he does drop an expo right now, he should be in a little bit better shape. He does pick off that overlord. No, he does not. And there he goes to run in, and I am pissed. I'm like, no, do not do that, like all the new Protosses do. And then what does he do? He does what Protoss do, and he force fields the ramp, so I can no longer get in. So he has this big armor ball of units, or bio ball, or whatever the hell you want to call it, in my base, in my main, killing all my overlords, killing my roach warren. This is the worst possible thing that could ever happen to me. My roaches are sitting out here useless. He does keep the sentry back here to keep force fielding. He's not a bad player. I do pull the line and the queen, and I have roaches popping out of my main, so I figure I'm going to all-in him to get him out of my base. Hero queen here with like 45 HP, gonna live through this fight. If he would have been paying attention, he should have focused the queen. That is a big deal to lose a queen to a Zerg player, as a Zerg player, I mean. Roach is finally breaking through the force field in the back, and there we go. And now, as you can see, 46 supply to 26 supply, I am now ahead. Although I did lose some harvesters, so I do have to recover from drone. Although he has no army. If I were to attack him now, he would die. I did not know that. I figured he macroed at home. Apparently not. Maybe his APMs... Wow! 58 APM average, so he was literally doing nothing as he was fighting me there. So I don't know how this guy got in platinum doing that, but I should have attacked him now. I should have counterattacked him. His 4 Sentry 2 Zealot probably could not handle my my Roach army, so he's now dropping a Forge to get some static defense. I am just droning. Take a look at the income tab. I'm starting to win. I have 27 drones to 22 probes, so I do understand that that hurt me economically and that I needed to drone very hard. So that is what I do. He is still on 1 base, just now getting his 2nd. He does love sentries, though. He understands the importance of sentries in a PvZ matchup, which is good, you know. So as you can see, as long as I get to this point in the build, I'm in some good shape, because now I'm economically ahead, or I should be at this point. The only way that he would be economically ahead is if he did not push there and protected his natural and only expanded and probed. In which case, if I saw that, I would build a little army and take my 3rd. And then I'm still economically ahead, so that is a good thing. So, and I am a little bit scared right now, as I don't know what he's doing, which is why I'm scouting. And I am going to see this horribly placed Stargate here, not very hidden, and I don't know why he doesn't chase my Overlord to kill it before I see the Stargate, but I do see the Stargate. So what do good players do when they see a Stargate? They totally drop a, well, Infestation Pit for sure, because I love Infestors, but the Hydra Den does come up pretty soon. He did take out my Roach Warren. I did not notice until I was like, hey, I should probably get some more Roaches. Then I went to hit R, and then it was like grayed out, and I was pissed, but do start getting Roach speed. Hydra Den coming up, as well as the Infestation Pit. I'm going to have Epic Composition, maybe not the biggest mass, but I'm going to have Epic Composition. My saturation is nice. I am leading him in economy quite a bit. Yeah. I would actually like 3 more drones to be optimum saturation, but no, during game I did not count. I eyeballed it, so not too shabby. He still does not have his gas down here. That surprises me because 1, he's making a Void Ray, 2, he has so many sentries, so where is he getting this gas from? And so yeah, he's broke. Oh, text. So yeah, and now I'm supply block because I lost that Overlord, and I'm a noob, and I don't build things. I did actually. I did have them in queue. Hydras are coming out now. I do believe I have that upgrade coming. The pathogen glands, so I'm in good shape. Although I assume his comp, which is Gateway and Void Ray, because I saw the Stargate. So I am going to go Roach Hydra. I do take these roaches here to kill these rocks, so I can grab my third. Because now I understand that I'm on 2 base versus 2 base, which means that I am not in the lead. I do have a bigger gas income than him, however, for the Infestors and Hydras. I should have gotten upgrades also, but you know, not too big of a deal. The game turns into an early pressure counter-attacking game into a macro game. So I like the macro game style. I tend to win the macro game style, except for when I'm against Charles for some reason. He owned me because I was like, I'm gonna fight against his Colossus and Bioball in a giant choke. That's my philosophy when I go against Charles. So yeah. Infestors are popping now. Yeah. Still leading him in workers. It looks like he cut his worker count. I'm making 26 Zerglings because I had a lot of money. Figure, you know what? When you got a lot of money, and you have your nice little unit composition, why not make a bunch of Zerglings? Your life would be better. So you know, he is just chain Void Ray making. So he is finally getting his third gas. He has 2 Void Ray on the way. It's 120 Dispi to 99, so I am definitely in the lead there. Not too big of a worker advantage. He is bidding me in worker advantage now, because I'm optimally. Is that the right word? I like my saturation as it is now, so I'm not going to change it. You know, I find these pylons laying around all over the map. I guess it gives him, you know, this puny little army here. It gives him the knowledge that he needs to know where I am, so that's good. I'm not sure why he engaged me here. I don't think he had a choice. This poor little Void Ray is going to get picked off, and the engagement does happen here, and I end up fungal growthing all of his army and surrounding it, and it is just bad news bears for this Protoss who decided to go Void Ray against Hydralisk. So I'm not sure where his observer was. He didn't even have a robo, so he should have gotten hallucination to scout at me or something. My Infestors are like free willy dying here. It doesn't really matter. Don't care. I never used Bioball in term of a Zerg, but every time the Zerg has an army, it's a Bioball technically. They're all biological units. So finally the third does go down, and I do make. Oh my lord! Here we go. Yeah, it's literally nothing here because we all know how well Protoss can re-macro, so I pretty much just punch him in his face. However, if we look at the units tab now, 55 drones to 41. So these drones are all transitioning down, and he quits the game without a GG. I haven't had a lot of GGs lately because I guess I'm just frustrating to play against. But see, how this build works is you start with the early pressure. You do your best not to lose as much. Your enemy thinks that you're committing too much to the roaches, and so they think that you're going to stream units in and make 4 or 5. So he stops making workers and forces himself to warp in units or mass marine marauder or do whatever he needs to do. Meanwhile, you're back at your base expanding while he is not, and then it turns into a macro game when you go back home and you get static up as needed to stop him. And like I said, this is the worst case scenario. Give it this guy was not the greatest player in the world, but he did have, he's platinum. I mean, his APM is 57 average. But just to show that it works, I'm going to practice this build a lot more with Charles, hopefully, and see how well it goes. I'll probably practice it with Nathan too, just to see if it's viable and higher up. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. So yeah, tell me what you guys think. I'll see you guys next time.